Cancel Joe Nami. Welcome to Joe Nami, Cancel Joe Nami, the only show where the host hasn't been canceled yet, despite the title of the show. The only show where the host is a liar. You don't see that much in society anymore, huh? Whatever happened to lying? You know, why is everyone so honest now? Everyone on TV is just telling the truth. Joel Osteen, I love that fucking prick. You know what? Actually, this is a fun story. So Joel Osteen is the super mega church pastor, Pastor Osteen. He wouldn't let people into the church. His church is down. During Hurricane Katrina, he wouldn't let poor people into the church. They needed a place to sleep. This is a mega church. It seats like 10,000 people. You know, I'd love to do comedy in there. I don't think he'll let me. But during Hurricane Katrina, like thousands of people, their homes were destroyed, and he didn't want them to come in and for it to accrue, damages. Because they're wet. He's afraid of the wetness. Remember, apparently in the Bible there was like Noah's flood or something, but Noah had a flood. He needed a plumber. And then he put all those animals on the ark. That's tough, man. You get tigers and chickens together, and you have to, you're really counting on them not to fight. It's amazing. God is amazing. God never mentioned the dinosaurs in the Bible. Dinosaurs never mentioned. Although I got into a Twitter fight with someone. Someone said, yeah, God did mention them when he said leviathans of the land. So I looked up leviathans, and it's a three-headed serpent, like a sea monster. Like the Loch Ness Monster, but if it had three heads. What the fuck is this? The Loch Ness Monster, that thing needs to come out of the closet. It's been hiding for too long. I mean, 80% of our oceans, though, are still largely undiscovered. So I do think there's a possibility. It's funny, we've been to the moon, but 80% of our oceans are undiscovered. And I think it's because we just sort of assume that nothing is happening down there. But, I mean, we could be doing things down there. Why not? I think the ocean is going to be the future. Think about it. You could start your own country down in the ocean. How fucking cool would that be? I'm writing that down. That's a business idea. The ocean. Think about it. All this real estate here, people are fighting for real estate, and I live here in Manhattan. Why are no real estate agents trying to tackle the ocean? Fucking idiots. That's where I'm going to make my millions. But, 80% of the oceans undiscovered, unexplored, like 80% of my body. LaCroix, the official sponsor of the show. Why did I start talking about the oceans? I don't know what the fuck I'm doing. My brain, I'm on a bunch of new pills. I put my notice in. I'm quitting my job. I was driving a truck around Manhattan, and there's some fun stories. I've been After I finish my deliveries, I get back to the warehouse. I have a cubicle in the back. I've been sleeping under my desk. I thought about going live on Instagram, doing some videos, just sleeping under my desk in my cubicle. Did I bring a pillow in? No, I thought about bringing a pillow and an air mattress in. Did not do it yet just because of the hassle. But yeah, I've been the worst employee possible. I've gotten into 2 accidents. I've only reported 1 to my boss. He's going to be very upset when he finds out about the second one. I've been sneaking into the Ritz-Carlton Hotel to eat their food. They feed, if you don't know this, all of the hotels, the major hotels like the Ritz-Carlton, the Hilton, the Langham, the Palace, the Hard Rock, they feed their employees. So if you go in and pretend to be an employee, you got to get the right kind of shirt. I did find a shirt that will pass. And so I just been going in and eating. I mean, they have gourmet meals, gourmet hamburgers, gourmet schlop. I got in tight with the chef at the Conrad Hilton. He had a tattoo of like something astrology, and I lied to him. I told him I like the moon. I hate the moon. Oh yeah, the moon. That's why. Is that why I was talking about the oceans? I don't know. Space, the next frontier. I was talking to the chef, and he's big into the moon phases, baby, let me tell you, and that's why he's a chef. There is no correlation. There is no coefficient correlation between the moon and any sort of causality in human life. Get used to it. These fucking idiots watching the moon like it's a barometer of anything. The moon. Is anything happening with the moon? Elon Musk had a rocket a while ago. The guy's now on Twitter. He's going to be tweeting from Mars. People are worried that he's not going to be able to manage Tesla, the electric car company. He's not going to be able to manage Tesla. How many fucking companies? Tesla, Twitter, and SpaceX. That's 4 companies. What is my favorite? SpaceX. Dude, we got to get to Mars, man. I'm telling you. My dad's pissed about Mars. He's like, oh, why are we going to Mars? It's such a waste of money. But you know what? Mars could be the future. Think about how much money there could be on Mars. We terraform that bitch up. Yeah. No, but we need to become a multiplanetary species, because if an asteroid hits Earth, or if Earth gets taken over by Muslims or devout Christians, or, you know, the Da Vinci Code turns out to be real, we need to be on a second planet. Even if it's the moon. Which I'm surprised they haven't tried to do more on the moon, like set up a cabin, set up, you know, somewhere to monitor like the NSA or a CIA on the moon. The moon, apparently, I've just learned this. The moon is the whole reason. The moon causes a gravitational force on our oceans, and that's what causes the waves. So every year, people are drowning because of our riptides and our waves. People are dying in our oceans every year because of the moon. Direct causality. So I really think it's time we nuke the moon. I mean, what's the worst that happens? The oceans are still, and then people don't drown, you know? Like that singer of Hallelujah, Jeff Buckley, drowned. Granted, it was in a river, but you can see the correlation between water. I'm so stupid. My brain is stupid. What else do we want to talk about? Oh, I want to talk about The Rock, okay? And I'm not talking about geography or topography or geologists. The Rock, Dwayne Johnson, the most valuable rock on this planet, arguably. This guy, for years, has been posting on his Instagram, like, him, like, lifting weights and getting up at 4 a.m. and, like, drinking water. And, I mean, you know, you look at him, the guy is huge. And, apparently for years, he's been lying about using steroids, which now he's, like, astronomically huge. His body is, his body is a giant tumor. If you think about it, you know, a tumor being cells that grow uncontrollably. That is The Rock. The Rock is a cancer. But the guy's been lying about doing steroids, and do I get it? Could it hurt his brand? But he's doing children's movies like Jumanji and just all this other shit. I can't even remember the last good movie he's done. I don't even think he's capable of acting as anyone other than Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson. But, you know, it's just like the guy posts on Instagram, oh, look, I'm hustling, I'm grinding, I'm special, I'm not special needs. And meanwhile, he's been using steroids the whole time. You know, and it's like, I hate to be the guy that rings the bell, but I mean, you know, then fat pieces of shit like me look at ourselves in the mirror and are like, why don't I look like The Rock, daddy? And then it's, you know, it's because, Jesus, sorry about that. Somebody who's an idiot is posting, God, I don't even want to mention this comedian. He's so bad. Hopefully he'll never, oh, Jesus. Oh, what a loser. This comedian that's making a lot more money than me. I work for him. I do a little bit of job because he hasn't gotten time. And, but he's a terrible fucking comedian. But I'm not going to say that because I work for a lot of comedians. And I'm not going to out him right now because that's not how this business works. As The Rock knows, it's all about the image that you put out there, okay? Yeah, I'm just, you know, there's thousands of men out there that are like, oh, am I going to look like The Rock? And no, you're going to end up an incel. Just like the Unabomber, Ted Kaczynski, which, who would have thought he was an incel? I didn't guess. I've been watching the Unabomber TV show on, I think it's on Netflix. It's on one of them, but find it. It's pretty interesting. He argues that society is stepping backwards due to technology. And this is kind of an offshoot argument from Freud's Civilization and Its Discontents. So Freud basically postulates that we are becoming more miserable because of society. And most of the things you're upset about are social things. It's rare. I mean, sometimes it's resources, you know. I get upset about, like, money and, you know, being a starving artist. But most of the time, I come home and it's like, oh, this person did that or this person said this. And so it's a complex social arrangement that we've arrived at in society. You know, there's social hierarchies, there's social roles, there's all kinds of social reality that we've created. So, what does that mean? That means we're miserable. I mean, for God's sakes, fucking Instagram. I mean, come on. Has Instagram ever made anyone happy? When I open up Instagram, I get happy for like 2 seconds when I get a dopamine of a notification. And then by the time I close Instagram, I'm miserable because I've seen 5 people who are having terrible lives. No. My life is the terrible one. You know what I mean. People just like we all put our best lives out there. And I mean, even I think something good happened to me. I think I'm supposed to get married or something good happened to me. And I was like, oh, I should post this. And then I was like, wait a second. You know what? I'm not going to fucking post this. I'm not going to feed into this because let me post something great from my life. That's just going to make other people miserable. Like my building supervisor. The guy is not doing well socially. He's in the building. He's ranked number 1. I love this guy. Recycling is big, but yeah, like The Rock, people present their best self, and meanwhile, it's always behind closed doors. It's always dog shit. I mean, look at Will Smith, for God's sakes. I looked up to Will Smith for the last 20 years. Like, wow, this guy's so positive. He's so charismatic. This guy's got it all fucking together, and he had like inspiring YouTube compilations and, clips of him. And meanwhile, the guy's a fucking psychodrama. He's a mess, and it all came catapulting out. I mean, you slap Chris Rock, slap anybody or slap him after the cameras stop rolling. Life's complicated. He apologized, but his career, I think he only apologized because his career is kind of heading in the toilet. Like, I mean, celebrities do this. Tom Cruise jumping on the couch, the Scientology stuff, Will Smith slapping. I mean, is it their fault? Is it the fame, civilization, and its discontents, like Freud would postulate, that A-listers are... I mean, it's the mechanism of their own life that's fucking with them. I don't think that we evolved for that level of fame. I mean, we were supposed to live in tribes of, I think, about 150 people at a time. So when you've got thousands or millions of people following you and liking you, I mean... It's just like I think it overloads all your neural networks, your brain circuits. Like, although one thing that does give me joy is like, all right, you look at a guy like Elon Musk, all right? He's a billionaire. He can do whatever he wants, but there's a ceiling to his serotonin. You know what I mean? Like, not only can the guy not possibly be much happier than us average people. I mean, there's a limit to the amount of happiness the human brain can produce. So even though his wealth is, let's say exponential, 10 to the 10th power, whatever. Even though his wealth is exponential, his happiness cannot be. His happiness follows a bell curve while his wealth follows a power law distribution, which I think just shows, again, that success is not a meritocracy. And I'm getting nerdy again. It's because I'm not feeling funny today, so I'm like, all right, what else can I say that's interesting? I am not feeling... Why? I had a late spot at the New York Comedy Club at 1 a.m., got home around 2 a.m., fell asleep. Yeah, you know how it goes. 2 a.m., 2:30. It was a good spot, though. It was a good set. There was a bunch of girls in the front row that were drunk. Oh, my God. And I think one was trolling me because she was, like, paying, like, super close attention, And I was like, you are way too engaged. You need to calm down. And she's like, no, I'm just trying to, like, be a good... Yeah. What'd she say? Oh, and then I got into an argument with one of these girls because I did a joke where the punchline was something about abortion. I got an abortion, and then I asked her if she had an abortion because, that's good crowd work. And she said, yes. Oh, no, I remember the joke. I said... This was a different bit. I got into an argument with a crowd member. I go, 99.9% of every species that's ever existed on this earth is now extinct, which believe it or not, is a true fact. You got to go back to the Jurassic period, the Cretaceous period. You got to go back to microbes. You got to go back to jellyfish, that, prehistoric, anything that can be categorized as a species. Most of them are dead. I mean, we human beings, if the Earth is 4 billion years old, roughly, I think it might be 4.8. And we humans, I mean, Homo sapiens are no more than 200,000 years old. There's a couple different takes on that, but 150 to 200,000 years old. So most species are dead. Every single species of dinosaur. And this girl got into an argument with me, and she's like, no, that's not true. And so I think I'm going to have to change the setup to the joke because people are dumb. I mean, it is kind of a wild fact, though. I had a hard time believing it at first, too, but she's still dumb. But so am I. Ouch. And then she just goes, no. And I go, yes. And she goes, no. And I go, yes. She goes, no. And I go, yes. And then I moved on from the joke. So that's the extent of my crowd work. What else do we want to talk about? Rihanna has a baby. Why am I bringing this up? No good reason. Probably just so I can segue. Rihanna had a baby with this guy, A$AP Rocky, but really I'm just doing this so I can segue into Chris Brown. Why are people still listening to Chris Brown? This guy is an active woman beater. I mean, this guy's an active domestic abuser. Not only that, but I just don't like him. I don't like his music. I don't like his face. Actually, his face is very handsome and symmetrical and attractive. I do like his face. I'd trade face. No, maybe. I'm not sure. But Rihanna has a baby. Wah! Mom, sing! Sing Umbrella again, Mom! That's what I imagine that her fucking baby is doing. Let me make sure this is a one-man operation. I'm making sure that fucking camera's still rolling because you need Rihanna jokes. She's making a baby. No, she made a baby. Can you believe women have the capacity to make babies? That is valuable. Why don't they sell that more? If you're infertile, I'll have a baby for you. I don't know. Now I can see that idea falling. I can see that business plan falling apart quickly. Because it's like, why would I want your genes? But surrogate mothers, huh? But I guess if a one woman could do it, why would she export it out, delegate? Because you got to delegate tasks. You're too busy. I think Kim Kardashian had a surrogate mother. She had a surrogate mother for her baby. Kanye fighting the good fight against the Jews. Joke. That's a joke. I don't feel like commenting on the Jews at this moment, but yeah, of course the Jews run Hollywood, but Jews are smart. I don't know, man. I don't see too many retarded Jews. The Jews, they're crafty people, and a lot of comics here are Jews. Seinfeld's a Jew. I'm okay with the Jews, You just gotta play the game. Anything else about Chris Brown? The guy's gotten pretty good at beating women. He's like a purple belt in beating women. If anyone should be canceled, it's him. I'm trying to get canceled. I guess I have to hit a woman, but I'm not that strong anymore. It's tough. It's tough out there. Hitting women is not as easy as it used to be. Women work out now. They have weights. This is a bit, by the way, for you. Well, actually, the podcast is called Cancel Joe Nami. So I have a feeling, though, when I actually get canceled, though, I'll probably be annoyed. I was talking about the Unabomber. The Unabomber. The guy, he wrote a manifesto, which the New York Times, the Washington Post published it, which is fucking awesome. Like, when's the last time you saw a manifesto published in the newspaper? This is amazing. But yeah, his manifesto was something human society and technological advances and how that was the downset. Now, Interesting enough, Ted Kaczynski, the Unabomber, not Bundy. A lot of Teds out there doing bad stuff. Actually, that's a small sample bias. That's only 2 people. But Ted Kaczynski, the Unabomber, I find it kind of ironic, though. I personally think he's a little bit of a hypocrite because his whole manifesto, he wrote like a 52-page manifesto railing against society and its technological advances. And yet, he's making these complex bombs that are made from chemistry, which one could argue is a form of technology, especially when you're soldering and welding the bombs. I mean, anything is technology the definition of technology is subjective. You know what I mean? Like rubbing 2 sticks together to make fire is technology according to a Neanderthal or a caveman. A bicycle is technology to a Chinese person. I'm joking. Calm down. No, like people in the early 1900s, a bicycle is technology. And then as time progresses, a cell phone is now technology. So Ted Kaczynski, who was doing all this stuff, I think it was through the early 90s, and then he wrapped it up around 96, I think. But it's like, yeah, what you're using is not technology, but that's only by your barometer of technology. So, Ted Kaczynski, you're a hypocrite, and I commend you, because we are all hypocrites, but you didn't need to blow people up. And I love China, too, by the way. I know I made a joke a second ago, but the joke was because in China they ride so many bicycles. So, bicycles is it's technology. But love China. China's the greatest country on earth. China is definitely the greatest country on earth, and I would live there if President Xi would love me. But he just has a lot of walls up, so I just don't see us together right now. What else is going on? Speaking of China, Trump is doing something with NFTs, which is exciting. Choking on my own air. Trump's getting into the NFT game, which is kind of funny because it is it's concerning his allies. I've been using air quotes a lot. I'm really, God, quote me on that. Trump is using NFTs, which has been concerning a lot of his allies because they're like, is this guy running for president? Why is he getting into the NFT game right now? We need you to be MAGA, baby. And then liberals are like, what's Trump doing getting into NFTs? But this guy, any decision that doesn't make sense, you can count on Trump to make that decision because he's always trying to throw his enemies off. You cannot predict Trump. You can't. But then again, I don't know. I don't think you can predict 99% of human behavior because humans don't operate like physics or particles. You can use the laws of physics to predict 99% of particle movement, except when it breaks down to electrons and protons, blah, blah, blah. But humans see physics and science and like the mathematical realities of the world operate by sets of laws or rules. And of course, they break down in extreme situations like a singularity or black holes. But human beings don't operate by laws. Human beings are unethical. And sometimes they even operate outside of their own good. We constantly do things to self-sabotage. Self-sabotage. Yeah, that's the end of the sentence. So it's like, how could you predict how can you predict that somebody will self-sabotage, There's a lot of things that just don't run according to plan. Okay? That being said, I think I'm out of time. Cancel Joe Nami.